Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
At their own 22-yard line.
Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play.
You look at this Buffalo defense, and they've played well against the pass, currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Now he'll take this and run. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Maxwell Hairston. And the Bills are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
I really don't think you can fault the decision-making here because your offensive quarterback, they really had a big week last week, and you're ready for them to go again here. Not the anticipated result, of course, but you definitely understand why they did what they did. That quarterback's been hot. You want to keep the ball in his hands and see if he can keep the magic going.
They start the drive with Cook. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Now 2nd and 5.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. A false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on 2nd down. To the air, Allen. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
A gain of 11 on the play. And
From the gun, it's Allen. A quick throw there is incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
Here's 2nd and 10. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
brings up 3rd down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he will find his man on the outside. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down. An audible here to get a new look. So they're going for it, and here's Allen. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
You look at this Buffalo defense, and they played well against the pass, currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
You have to like the way that they've played in the first month. They have to be very proud being a top 10 unit against the pass. Their goal, though, in this one, see if they can improve that ranking.
Got a man complete. It's Taylor. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A gain of 32 that time.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Luther Burden with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jets take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point attempt to follow here. He's got it, and the Jets lead at 7-0.
Makes the score Jets 7, Bills 0.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 35-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, or they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Up the middle, it's Cook. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
Allen now looks to throw. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3.
A 2-yard gain. It's 4th down.
Allen going to go on 4th down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
That's good for Bills. 1st down.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
1st down, Buffalo.
Allen going to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's got this down to the 35.
Down. A gain of 12. 1st down, Bills.
Now Allen. Oh, his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Jets are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the 2nd time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
That's good for a Jets. 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Terrell Bernard getting in there to drop him for a sack.
2nd down.
won 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation.
Back to throw.
And this one is incomplete. And Charles got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. He's going to try and go deep again. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
So 1 first down on that drive, and that's it. Forced to take the deep shot on 3rd down and couldn't hit it. Now they have to punt this one away.
So on 4th down, out comes Austin McNamara to punt for New York. Take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Got it complete to Khalil Shakir. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
It's a gain of 21 yards. And the Bills first down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Throwing now is Allen. That'll be complete to Cook. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
First down.
Allen going to change the look here. Back to throw again. Allen going to run with it. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Offense is moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Allen. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver.
Another miss.
Still on his feet. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Bills are an extra point away from drawing level. The extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. So I'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 40 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. The first carry here for Jordan James. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. The Jets are 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL. But this is a half of not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. On the draw, here's Mitchell. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Disaster there, resulting in a loss of 7 on 3rd down.
I'm not quite sure they got the spark that they wanted on 3rd down. In fact, I think they gave that spark to their opponent instead because that big stop has galvanized the sideline, and it starts their offense out with some momentum.
They're going to try and throw. Left sideline, a dime, and it looks like he's got it. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down.
Every play is supposed to get a player's best effort, but on 4th down, that really increases the stakes, doesn't it? What about that catch?
Heck of an effort picking up the 1st.
And now that team has to be motivated going forward. They just saw a great effort there. They want to make sure it pays off.
Back to throw now on 1st down. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops and escape this drive.
Let's go.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Right side, he has Johnston. And he's got a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bills' 34-yard line. 3rd catch of this 1st half for him, and this one is a 1st down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 1st half. All knotted up at 7. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. That'll be caught by James. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Go! 70
They'll look to throw again. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
This defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a 2nd half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They'll set up to throw. He'll try to do it himself. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. Well, certainly not how they drew it up. A fourth down gamble turns into a fourth down scramble, but all is well. First down.
Here we go. Ready, go.
They'll run with Mitchell. Down at the 2. Broke through the first contact, but ultimately stopped short of the goal line. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Mitchell will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll set up a throw. He'll try and do this himself. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. From 3 yards out. And the Jets will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. And they'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
To the air, Allen. Throws right side, and that's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
First down. A gain of 22 yards.
Allen maybe with a free play. And what a read on the outside as it's intercepted. And the Jets are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. So they accept that penalty, and that will, of course, move the football up the field. Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5.
Alert!
Here's Allen to throw it. And he's got his big wide receiver complete. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal.
1st and goal, Buffalo.
A final shot before half for Allen. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. A one-touchdown ball game, 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
A 2-yard
motion man is Shakir.
3rd and 6.
Now Allen. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Bills first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Allen going to audible to a different look.
First down, Bills.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And Allen going to be intercepted for the third time. And the Jets are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
They'll start with a run by Mitchell. And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. 2nd and 5. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Let's go.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He'll try and do this himself. He's got a man complete. Down to the 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Quentin Johnston, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jets go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-7.
21. Bills 7.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see, do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
63 yards receiving for him now. And that last catch good enough for a first down.
42-yard line.
To throw, it's Allen. Wide open receiver, complete. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Bills first down.
Here's Allen. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. So the completion good for 7 there. And that will bring up 2nd down.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 36-yard line.
Allen going to throw. Shakir hauls it in. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 21.
A gain of 15 yards. That's another Bills first down.
Now Allen. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
As his man, it's Shakir. Down inside the 10.
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown.
Khalil Shakir.
28 yards.
And the Bills are back within a score.
The PAT good. It would draw him closer, but hold on just a second. A flag is down on the field.
And that flag accepted.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here.
Their own 35-yard line.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. He gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That good for 22 and a first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw.
Has his man, that's James.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They'll go down as a gain of 6. And it's second down.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Now a first carry for their fullback.
And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line.
It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
How about that call handed to the big guy in that situation? Normally you think of him as a real short yardage runner, but in this case they trust him to get a few more yards than that. I remember an old New York Giants quarterback, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, telling me he loves offensive coordinators who call the plays with a little bit of abandon.
11 yards there, just like last play.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Nike 18. Go.
They run it with James. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
They've been running it well all game, and why not? The big guys up front, they're just having a ball, creating monster holes for their guys to run through.
2nd and 2, first down marker at the 5-yard line.
They'll give to the fullback on the dive. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Now back to throw.
He'll try to pick it up himself.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. It's their quarterback. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 14 on the year.
And the Jets are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the second pick thrown here in the third quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
That's downfield. He's got Taylor. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
And the Jets, first down. First down and goal to go.
It'll be first and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal. Well, they go with a tight end carry. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Give him 4 on the carry there at second and goal.
It's a bit of a dangerous part of the field for them to break into their bag of tricks, but for a minute there, I thought it was going to set up perfectly for them. Instead, they don't get into the end zone, but they do pick up positive yardage.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal.
Here we go. Pass to 60. Pass to 60.
James. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. A great play there. A 4-yard touchdown scamper. And the Jets are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Extra point forthcoming. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Bills 14.
The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception.
And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. To try here for the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Makes the score Jets 42, Bills 14.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Second down and 6 now.
4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6 at the 35-yard line.
Allen now looks to throw. And now here's another interception. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Let's go now. Hut, hut.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. James has got it. Complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it's 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 47 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 3-yard line.
James going to be stopped before he can get moving forward as he'll lose a couple back to the 5-yard line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal. Now this time he'll look to throw. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Touchdown. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Bills 14.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. This offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Allen. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Well, things obviously not going their way. Trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that penalty going to go ahead and give the other side some extra yardage.
We all know it's an intense game and things can get heated out there. That's part of the battle. The bottom line, you got to keep your cool. That was not an example of doing that. I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
Well, Charles, they had the comfortable lead, and now it's even more comfortable. Another score here in the 4th quarter to grow that lead.
But I think your initial reaction is surprise when you see a team piling it on this late in the blowout. But there are plenty of coaches who also think that if you pull up completely and stop trying to play the game, it shows disrespect to their opponent. So they don't want to embarrass them. They continue to let their players go for it.
Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
Out to the left, he's got his tight end, Knox. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Calling a gain of 6 on the play. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Throwing now is Allen.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's an 11-yard pickup. Thought they'd run it on 3rd and 1. Not the case.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
And that one complete to his receiver, Palmer.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing, Pat.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned.
They'll try the middle with Cook. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line.
Now 3rd down and 7.
Looking to throw. Allen. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And a very good return as as he takes us all the way up to the 35-yard line.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess they catch all as everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Here's 2nd and 7.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down.
Landon Jackson in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. They need 12 here. It's 3rd down.
He'll drop to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now for the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
63. Bills 14.
The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
Be honest.
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
You're not going to want that feeling.
no, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. First down, here's the run with Cook.
Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line.
The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Back to throw now on first down. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining.
2nd and 1 now from the 21.
Looking to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
First down, Bills.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Go! 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles, Buffalo 18.
They'll set up to throw. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
2nd and 10.
Count 19. Set up. 18, Pioneer.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. They blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
I think this is what this game's become now. Just go deep, see if we can get something to go our way.
Yeah, not the most creative or most inventive play call there, but not much has worked for them throughout this game. They're almost at a loss about what to dial up.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now.
Come on, set. Viking 18. 60 Bobcat, 60. Yeah.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He'll try to do it himself.
So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you could just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for the Jets, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Bills, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.